Hey, how you doing? My name is Chris. Welcome to my shop and welcome to 2017. I hope you had a great holiday and have now recovered and no longer hungover. Before we get to today's project, I want to take time to say thank you to a gentleman, very generous gentleman named Eric Talley. Eric, you are the man. If you remember, just before Christmas, I put out a video about what a woodworker would really like for Christmas, and I said they'd like to have wood. In that video, I mentioned that if my wife wrapped up a big old chunk of walnut and stuck it underneath the Christmas tree, I'd be a happy camper. My wife didn't do that, but Eric did. Eric sent me this. This is a 12-quarter piece of walnut that Eric tells me was milled back in 1968. Eric, you made my day. You made my holiday season. I don't mind telling you. That was extremely awesome and generous of you, my friend. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I don't know what I'll be using that walnut for, but I guarantee you I'm going to hang on to that and use it for something special. I'm in no hurry. That's been sitting around since 1968. It can wait for the right project. So, Eric, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Today's project goes back to a video I did last year when I believe I titled the video Free Wood. And in that video, I showed you roughly how I go about taking this and turning it into something that looks like this, a board, 4 square. And it was pointed out to me that I neglected to show one step in that process, and indeed I did. And that step was how I established this initial straight edge off of a piece that is like this, that obviously is not square whatsoever anywhere on this board. I mean, it is parallel flat, but these edges, you can obviously see there's a live edge here. The question was how I established the straight line cut that I initially make. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I use a table saw sled to do that. I don't want to call it a jointer sled. I'm going to call it a straight edge sled. And it's the sled I use to make that initial first straight cut that I can turn around and then make another parallel cut to it on the table saw. So it's an easy enough build to do, so I'll make you one today. I'll show you how to make a straight edge sled coming up next. Straight edge sled, pretty straightforward. Materials you're going to want to have on hand. I have some 3/4 inch plywood here. I've also got a piece of 3/4 inch material. In this case it's pine that I'll be using as a reference fence. The hardware you want to have on hand, those are 1/4 bolts that I have on hand. They're 1.5 inches. I've got some star knobs here that I'll be able to use to tighten those down. And if you don't have star knobs, then you can certainly use wing nuts if you would like. The only other hardware that you'll need is going to be some toggle clamps that you can mount here. That will help you secure the piece that you put on the sled tightly down so that when you run it through the table saw, it doesn't go moving around on you and keeps things safe. Now, how we're going to do this, basically, is the width of your sled is really dependent on the width of the board that you're looking to put a straight edge on. And in this case, this is not that wide of a board. It should be fine. I'm looking to basically just cut this live edge off of this board, and I'll be referencing it off of this edge here. This edge is going to be lined up. This is where the saw blade is going to travel. This will be where I set my fence, and this will guide this sled through the saw blade. So what I will do is I will make a straight line from where this live edge begins all the way across over here, and I can line that up to the ends of this sled piece here, and then clamp this down using these toggle clamps to go through the table saw. And it's going to be simple enough. Now, in order to make this carry the way I want it to carry, I will need to drill 2 holes here, and those will be the same corresponding holes I drill here and here. But I will drill 2 holes here and here, and I will drill 2 more holes further down on this sled here and here. Once I have those holes drilled, I will take it over to the router and cut a slot in this so that this 1/4 bolt will be able to ride back and forth, and hence this thing will be able to slide back and forth as well. And then I can tighten it down, clamp it down, run it through the table saw, and we're good to go. So let me go ahead and get the measurements I need here and here, make those marks, corresponding marks here and here. We'll drill those out, get the router table happening, get the slot cut, and we'll be just about good to go. All right, easy enough. Just a simple straight edge sled for you to establish that first straight line so that you can flip the board over, run it through the table saw, and get a parallel line to it. Not easy at all. And if you're milling up your own stuff and you've got some rough stuff to deal with, it's a nice little tool to have to get that initial straight edge. Keeps things safe, and it actually does a pretty good job. So if you're interested, just showed you how to do it. It's not that hard at all. Get out there and do it. I'll talk to you later. You guys be good. Get out in your shops, make that first cut, and get something done. I'll see you.